I know Chigs is in here recording or some shit.
No shit smooth in here, right? So whatever you
Oh, so you
say,
know Che gonna have everything up there.
whatever you say, Chig's gonna be on YouTube with it, man. I
But
like you.
come on.
False narratives put out by the media is unbelievable to me. It's unbelievable to me. The reason why I know I know what it's like is because when BLM was first under attack, you know, there was this sentiment that I was part of BLM. So I was getting emails and DMs talking about, where's the money that y'all stole? I've never been a part of Black Lives Matter, the organization, in my life. I've never been a part of it. I don't have $90 million. So the reality for me was, how did that even happen? And to this day, it's still happening. Right? Somebody on my page just wrote, you a part of BLM. This is what I'm talking about. This is it's like, it's willful ignorance. It is the most crazy shit I think I've ever seen in my life, that people willingly become ignorant. People will tell you that never met you, don't know nothing about you, who you are, what you are, everything. Never met you, never seen you, don't know nothing about your life, and they'll come on these devices and these platforms and tell you that who they say you are. You know? And it's weird. And social media has completely poisoned the minds of our people. Like Malcolm X said, the realest shit. He said, if you're not careful, the media will have you hating the oppressed people and loving the oppressor. The realest shit ever. Malcolm X said, if you are not careful, the media will have you loving the oppressor and hating the oppressed people. You know, and that's where we are. We're in an era where misinformation, where purposeful misinformation has dominated people. Right? The thing is, you can't, this is what I found out, I'm not here to prove anything wrong. You can't prove somebody wrong that don't like you. Right? Trying to make somebody like you or believe you that don't believe you is a waste of your time. Only thing you can do is continue to inform and keep the people who fuck with you. You wasting your time. He talking about you want to have what do you want to have a conversation? I want to go loud. Cause I just want, I love bringing y'all on here cause some of these people like, right? And it's like, what do you want to talk? Said to bring him on here now. Let's have a discussion now. He ain't here. You know, I don't see what I accepted the request. He don't want to get on now. I guess he changed his mind. Whatever you can do better, jokester. Whatever it is that you can do in your community, you do it. We all have different entry levels into this movement, you know. What is the major issue that's not being discussed? Oh, now he's unable to join. But you said let's discuss, but you weren't able to join. Stop wasting my time. Sign up and okay, let me go on. If you want to do real work, we have Boycott Black Murder, and you can sign up at boycottblackmurder.com, where we focus on all of the issues plaguing our communities. You know, we focus on state-sanctioned violence. We focus on community-based violence. The core of it, where it comes from, the things we need to do to stop it. Why are they paying? I thought I was paying. Because a lot of the Black Lives Matter organization people were in the arts. So they used arts as a way to transform and do reform and, abolishment, prison abolition and things. And they used art as a way to express that. And they utilized artists. So that's what they were mainly based on from the beginning. So when they got money, they invested in a $6 million creators house to where the creators could go. It was a safe space. It was a place where you could create. And that's what it was. So rather than people believing that, they wanted to believe that, the streets took it for her and her family. She don't live there. The house that they got on in right now, the $1.4 million house that she shouldn't be able to have because I guess a Black woman is supposed to starve. She's not a book writer. She does not a speaker. She's not an educator. She shouldn't have money. She shouldn't be able to have a house and clean it up and all that. So they talking about that. But that's the house she live in. The other house that they talking about is not even a house that she owns. It's owned by the organization. But rather than find that out, you know what happens? We want to be angry. We want to call them a scam. Exactly. She deserved a $20 million house, if you ask me. Everybody in this movement deserves to be living, in levels of lavish. If the people that's killing us, people that's promoting our death, people that have benefited off us for years can live in $100 million homes and live lavish, the people that are willing to fight for us and make any level of change should be able to live the same way. It's actually just a regular house. $1.4 million is not really that big of a deal for a house. If you're a person who makes above average wage and you live above poverty level, you put a decent down payment down and you pay $5,000-6,000 a month, you can live in one too. If you work hard, you can live in a house for you and your family. So I don't understand. It's very strange, and I just think that we have to do better as a people. We just always assume that our people are the worst people in the world.
Reason for that. And the same hidden hand that has fed us the knowledge of your statements is the same hidden hand that works 24 hours, 7 days a week, every year of every decade of every century to keep us in a position of confusion and dysfunction. If I stated earlier that if we studied the methods of Kanye activity for financial or economic success, we'll see that there's an ingenious method behind it to all of what we call madness. It's hard to understand a billionaire if you're not a managing millionaire. And most of us don't understand the activity or psychology of a billionaire. So when we watch a brother go in a 17-year period from being a budding rap artist to a mega mogul in the financial world, it's something that has to be studied. I took the favor of studying in an analytical manner, and most of us are overlooking a key thing. Kanye West, as you initially said, marketed his music towards Black people because that was his love. That's his culture. That's his rearing. That's what he knows. So he has a gift in creating the sound of music, but also composing lyrical genius as well. So we were introduced to that in the early 2000s. He went from being that artist to being a man that foreseen, foretold, and predicted of his position today. Kanye West also did something that no black man I have seen done in a 53-year existence. Do the level of Kanye's mastery of rags that you know damn well ain't no black people buying none of that Star Wars spaceman looking shit, bro. You know that for a fact, but it's selling at $2,400 a sweater and $3,100 a pair of pants. That's not our market. We didn't make him rich in that regard. He had a mastery of what he studied, and he made it applicable to his life. We all have talents, bro. We all have idealistic talents and ideologies that make us who we are. We have occupations. We have skill sets that make us who we are. If we just study what has happened in his format of business and success, we can make that applicable to our children so that we don't have children running around desiring to be business owners, but don't have a business or economic base to support their dreams, bro. So he mastered what others didn't. And the devil is mad at him. The enemy is mad at him, of course. And he influences us through ignorance and dysfunction to be against our brother. But at the end of the day, when we get upset with Kanye, we say he doing something to us. I asked us, including you, my brother, and everybody on this live, did any of us really vote for Kanye in 2020 like I did? And I asked you that personally, bro, because if we didn't, our judgment of what Kanye activity is stands hypocritical, because if we are not with him when he needs us, why are we claiming to be against him when they're against us? That's the question.
So there's a lot to unpack. So, and I appreciate the dialogue, beloved.
Yes, sir.
So let me one of the things that they always said is you can't dismantle the master's house with the master's tools, right? And they say that to say this. Kanye did exactly what you said, right? He studied the oppressor, and he figured out what they did. What I'm trying to explain to you is he studied the oppressor and used the oppressor's strategy on us. He didn't negatively affect no white people. Him selling them a couple of t-shirts ain't changing them. Everything. Kanye has utilized the psychology that the white man has to control us and keep us trapped in. He got us spending money we can't afford on clothes. The shit that we can't afford that. None of the shit that Kanye sells, we can actually afford. He's played on religion. He's utilized religion. He's come to real churches, sat down and prayed on religion. He's take sex. He sold us sex. He sold us everything that the devil sold us and got rich off of it. He never benefited. None of that shit you talking about benefited black people. It didn't benefit us at all. We could all have that strategy. If I was a man of low vibration and low integrity, I can do what Kanye did. I can do that anytime. Listen, what I'm trying to explain to you. I can go into this movement right now and sell the same exact shit. When I was in the industry, they wanted me to compromise and sell shit. I wasn't with that. The devil always utilizes those people who want some level of success. That's what the devil does. The devil tricks you to believe that he's helping you, right? If you ever looked, it's from this thing called Trick Baby, right? And they was talking about, I think it was talking about political parties, and he said, you give them jobs. He said, you can't keep one of them inside the community who has power because they can rise up above us, right? So what they do is they take people like Kanye who have influence, who are saying Bush don't care about black people, who saying Jesus walk, who has the message, right? Who is so authentic, right? And they say, you know what? We're going to give you some white woman. We're going to give you a certain level of success. We're going to make you comfortable with us. You can sit with us, yeah? You don't need to be with them. We're going to make you a billionaire, but we just need you to sell this poison. We need you to fuck their minds up and think it's all about money, right? Because long as they think it's all about money and not unity, and we focusing on the wrong thing, and you wear Confederate jackets, and you wear White Lives Matter hats, shirts, and MAGA hats, and you promoting all the shit that's bigging us up, that's pushing us to the next level. You can have $1 billion. We want you to make $1 billion. It's easy for you to get $1 billion if you do that, bro. Come over here, keep selling it, and then what you do is when you realize it don't work and you losing, you come back to the people and say, "Yo, I'm a black man. Look what they did to me. They taking my kids. Oh man, I ain't got shit. Who gonna fight for me?" Then it's like, you know what? White lives matter. This
Well,
is what happened.
let me make a point of
No, let
rebuttal.
me finish. Let me finish. Let me
Okay.
finish.
Okay.
I just sat down and listened to you, right? So I want you to understand that this strategy that Kanye, the devil did it. This is how the devil was formed, right? The devil was formed because he wanted God's position, right? And he was jealous. So he created his own shit. He wanted to be God. Kanye is trying to create himself to be a God. When you try to make yourself an image of God, when you try to put yourself above the reality that everybody, Kanye is trying to say he's above the everyday person that he's supposed to be representing reality. You've lost the
That's a
reality of what
fallacy,
we're
though,
dealing
bro.
with.
That's a
Huh?
fallacy. That's a fallacy.
Okay, so tell me how.
That's not our reality. And what I'm telling you and us as black people, earlier I made the statement that we have to be universally, our new culture that we have to adopt in every community. We can't be the same in locally, because locally we have different cultures like West Coast, East Coast, Midwest, down South, different cultures. However, nationally, we can all be unapologetically black. And the first study in being of that is recognize what you are and what you're seeing. Kanye West in 2005 said, George Bush doesn't care about black people to the world.
Yep.
Now no other rap artists. See, this we'll call, I'm going to describe it from my perspective. Like I said, we have different perspectives or different vantage points. We both are watching the same murder in the middle of the street from different sides of the street. One thing we do know is the evidence is that somebody got murdered. Kanye West's success came in a progression. I want to educate us on something. Kanye West right now is dealing with a conflict that the two companies that made billion-dollar deals with him are now claiming that their contracts are under question and review. And the reason is because there's been controversy that they believe is starting to affect his market share and power. Kanye West is responsible for $2 billion per year annually of Adidas revenue. He's also signed one contract with the Gap, increased their net worth, their stock net worth of 24% in less than 90 days. Now, what happens is this. When you try to silence a man that's a free man, that have arranged business in a way of mastery, that doesn't affect himself, but it affects you when you try to remove him from his position. It's something new to us. You and I have never seen this. I've been in the industry, bro, since 1992. As a matter of fact, I had a demo tape of yours a long time ago for management in the early 2000s. I believe you was inside at the time. So I'm Jakim Muhammad from Bad Boy Records, Def Jam, Juice Thing Productions, and management my whole life. So I've been in this industry a whole life. But in the street and in prison, I've also learned the science of black psychology, bro, and economics. And what I'm telling you is that economically, something is happening. And Kanye is only an example because he's in the house of Jay-Z, who's conducting himself in a business manner. Forget about what we're dealing with socially and culturally. Let's look at the example of business that's being shown to us.
But what do you mean? What is the example of business? I don't understand what you're saying that he's doing.
We can't be critical if it's like this. We can't sit back and be critical of something that we have no aptitude or ability to do ourselves. You just said that you can take certain things and exploit your people. Kanye products wasn't made for his people. Kanye products, by definition.
That's not true though.
That's not true. Well, show me some black people that's wearing Kanye clothes that he's made the money from.
But that's not. He don't make the money. He makes the money for the sneakers and the shoes that black people wear.
Bro.
He don't make the majority of the money. The majority of the money that Kanye makes comes from the shoes, beloved. That's a fact.
My
The
brother,
Yeezy sneakers and the slides are where he makes his money. Nobody buys those clothes.
all right, my brother, we don't buy those clothes.
Okay.
Those clothes
Let's just
exist.
Google. Okay, so listen, I don't want to see me. I don't want to talk.
What I'm saying is this, bro. Listen
I
what I'm
want to go.
saying,
I'm
bro.
going to Google. I'm going to
You
Google
can
how
Google
much.
it. Mind
Yeah,
you
'cause I
can
already
Google
know.
it and watch what
I want to
happens.
speak.
Right, you can Google it and watch what happens. Kanye revenue comes from a multifaceted stream of
It
income
comes from
based
his
upon his
sneakers.
that's what you know because that's what's
No,
been marketed to the black community.
that's what I looked up.
My brother, Nike earns tens of billions of dollars of years from the black community. And they
Yeah.
were the first sneaker company in the late 70s and the early 80s to realize that Adidas, Converse, and Puma didn't directly market themselves to the urban community. And they
That's a fact.
monopolized doing it and became the world's #1 sports conglomerate. And I'm talking about money. So when we're dealing with billionaire activity, bro, we're dealing with a multifaceted activity on the market that brings multi-incomes from multi-communities. So when you're dealing with people that buy a $5,000 pair of pants, bro, we're not talking about us. We're talking, we spend $100, $200 on a pair of designer jeans. Some ignorantly, but spend up to $1,000 on a pair of designer jeans. But that's out of
That's
our
right.
ignorance. We're not wearing spaceman clothes, bro, for $5,000.
Well,
It
that's
just
what I'm
doesn't
trying to
make
tell you.
sense. It don't make sense. But he
What I'm
didn't
trying to tell
market
you
that
is,
for us. He marketed it to them. And I'm ask you a question. Do Yeezys outsell Jordans?
huh?
Do Yeezys outsell Jordans or LeBrons?
Do Yeezys outsell? Yeah, I don't know. I don't even know. I can't even tell you right now.
No, they don't come close. Look what Nike did to us, and he figured it out. But he did it to them. Just look at how the Yeezy sneakers are designed. They're not designed for us.
You're not listening to what I'm trying to
They're
explain
not
to you.
our fashion. That's my
Okay.
point, bro.
What I'm trying to say is this, right? And
Yes.
we can go back and forth about how much money Kanye made, right?
Well, I want to deal with some. See, I know some more.
No. But I want to say. But listen to me. But let me just think about it. I want you to understand this. You said, why didn't people vote for Kanye as the president, right?
Right. Why black people didn't support him?
Because nobody believed that he was even mentally competent. No, what I'm trying to tell you is there's nothing outside of music and its shoes that made me believe that Kanye could lead me somewhere. This is what I'm trying to tell. Listen. Your
That's a
financial.
question. That's a question.
This is what I'm trying to tell you is your financial stability